Hello and welcome to this video series on Drupal. In this video we're going to discuss the various types of content. And let's go ahead and jump right on into this and head over to Administer. And then under Content Management we will then go to Content Types. And this lists just a few actually, but the big ones. The book, forum, page, and story. Now, there's not a lot of differences. I mean, they can easily be confused from one to the other. A book or a page or a story in a page, but there are some small differences that can make a big difference actually in how they show on your site and how your site will be categorized and how, for that matter, search engines might look at them. A page, as it says here, similar in form to a story, is a simple method for creating and displaying information that is rarely changes. And it gives a good example here. For example, the contact or the about us, or say the FAQs, frequently asked questions, these sections of a website. By default, a page entry does not allow your visitor comments and is not featured on the site's initial homepage. Now, this little clickable link right here can change all that. That's why I was saying that there can be very little difference between any of these, and on top of that you can configure these and even create additional types of content by morphing a couple of these together using features from one and ending up creating an entirely different type of content altogether. So I guess the easy way to put this is that hey, you're in control of your own domain. In other words, you can do it as you wish. I mean, if others tell you that you should not use a page for your home page, well, tell them that that's not how you roll. That's just what you do. Is you're going to use a page as your home page, and by golly, that's how it's going to be on your site because it's your site. So again, you can do it however you want. One thing I do need to mention though is that I want to show you a few more items that can easily be popped up on here, and we do that by going over to the site building and enabling a few more modules. So we go over to modules and go and scroll on down here, and we want to enable the blog, and let me see what else we got here. We got the forum already on there. The path, we want to make sure that we can institute some what they call clean URLs or search engine friendly URLs, so that it doesn't just say node 1 or node 2 up here at the top, that you can actually create a search engine friendly URL. And I'll cover that here in, if not this video, the next one coming up. Now then, let me see. Ping, we'll take care of that one later on. Search, we'll take care of that one later on. I think that's pretty much it. Yep, that's pretty much it for this one. So we want to save our configuration, and we'll head on back over to the content type. Here we were at before, content management, content types, and you'll see we've got an addition here, the blog entry. So again, depending upon what modules you have on your site, could depend greatly on how many of these different types of content you have as well. So that's another thing to consider. Now, how I'm going to set this up and what I'm going to do in upcoming videos in showing you a page entry, a story entry, a book entry, a blog entry, and so on, is I'm going to set this up that the page will, in fact, contrary to what this says, be my home page, as well as the basically think of it as static pages. The home page is going to be there. Now there's going to be ever-changing content on the home page, and the frequently asked questions page or the FAQ page, for the most part, that's going to remain the same. It will only have additions to it. What else? Well, there'll be another page for videos, and that would constantly be changing, but the name video page, for lack of a better description right now, will remain the same. That part will remain static. Now then, what will be added to that page, for example, using videos as an example, I will be adding stories to that page. A story, for example, will be video 1, another story, video 2, another story, video 3, and so on. Now a book would be looking at something that's more of a collaborative effort, something that will be created by other members of my site, and each page of that book will be linked to other pages of that book. Oh, what's a good example? Let's say that I have a video series in my story, which is located on this page, on creating SEO friendly content. How to make your website a little more search engine friendly. And along on that page, or maybe linked to that particular video, which is on that page, will be a book page on SEO friendly URLs. Now that SEO friendly URL book page will be linked to other pages of that book on search engine friendly pages, which are going to be in that book. I know it's easier to see than to say, but that's one of the things I'm going to be covering in the upcoming videos, where I actually define more individually these types of content. And remember, there's other content types out there. This is just a brief overview, just to kind of get your feet wet. There's images, and again, not to mention the fact that you can, like I said earlier, customize to create your own content types. And I also want to go over here and click on the edit real quick, and just to show you the basic functions that you've got as editing your content types. And this holds true on all those content types. All those over there have the edit function. Submission settings, excuse me, you can give them all different title names, workflow settings, whether it's automatic, and this is all just the default stuff, because you have the opportunity, once you create an actual blog page, for example, you can go in and change all this stuff at that time. This is just for default. So by default, you can untick these so nothing shows up, or you can tick this sticky at top of list, so this is always going to be at the top of the list until it's removed and edited. That's what sticky means, that it stays put. It's not going to be moving around, because if this were not ticked and I promote this to the front page, then the next time the next article that I publish in this blog entry, actually in any blog entry, and that I have published where it says promoted to front page, it's going to start off on top of this, on top of the one that was just entered. So it will be constantly moving down the list as I add more content. Now if it were sticky, it's going to remain at the top of the page, and all new content being published will be published below it. So again, something to consider. And then comment section, whether you want them to or not. Again, this is all default stuff that can be changed once you get to entering that particular type of content. And if you happen to screw things up, or you just like it the way that it used to be right out of the box, just click right here to reset to defaults, and it is reset to defaults. Of course, I could do that because I didn't make any changes. But anyway, that's just a brief overview on the content types. Hope you learned something on this one. I know there wasn't a whole lot to it that wasn't beyond just the common sense, but I need to make sure that everybody understands everything from the get-go, so once we get into creating your own site, that you'll be fully informed. Thank you much for watching, and have a great day.